Hey, it's Scarlett, plant-based vegan, trying to live my best life, and I want to help you to live yours. This video, I want to share with you my zero waste journey and some of the things that I have been doing so that I can reduce the amount of waste that I am producing. So first of all, what is zero waste? Basically, the way I look at zero waste is just figuring out all the different ways that I can reduce the amount of waste that I get down to zero. Well, when you think about it, trying to have absolutely zero waste in your everyday life might feel like it's impossible. So I look at it as something that is more aspirational. And basically, I just search around my home and think about, okay, what am I using and how can I replace it so that it's something that it's not going to get thrown out as quickly. So the 5 R's of zero waste are refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, and rot. Now refuse is, you're going to refuse anything that you don't need. Also, what I do in refusing is, if there's something that I do need to go out and purchase, I'm thinking about what kind of packaging is it coming in. Is it in a lot of plastic packaging, or can I replace the plastic with glass? So for instance, I was buying a brand of peanut butter that came in a plastic jar, and I decided to replace it, and I found a jar of natural peanut butter that came in glass instead, because I like to reuse my glass, whereas plastic would just get tossed into the recycling can. So that's refuse. So and refuse is like, and you sometimes you want to get free stuff, but you're not going to use it. So you want to just say no to tchotchkes and free things. All right, if you're not in New York, you probably don't know what a tchotchke is. But tchotchkes are like those little gifts that you get at trade shows and events and samples that if you're not going to use it, refuse it. Just because it's free doesn't mean it's for me, right? So that's refuse. Reduce, get rid of the things that you don't need. I walked around my place and I was like, okay, I have a lot of clothes. I'm not using all this clothes. So I donated maybe 3 bags full. And it's really amazing how much stuff you accumulate, right? So I got rid of clothes and housewares, other things that I didn't need anymore. That way it can get handed down to someone else who might be able to use it. And that's reduce. Reuse. Again, like with my glass jars, I washed them out, I removed the labels, and I reuse them for dry goods. I use them when I'm freezing food. It's really a great way of getting rid of plastic. So the thing with plastic is that it ends up degrading and it's not good, and your food leaches it. So glass is non-porous. It's perfect. So that's why I reuse glass, but then I also try to repurpose other things in my home, and I'm going to show you some of the things that I've done in my kitchen and in my bathroom. So that's the reuse. The next is, of course, as a last resort, if you can't refuse it, reduce it, or reuse it, you recycle it. That's, where the plastics and the cans and all that other stuff, paper, that is recyclable. The idea is to try to stay away from plastic as much as possible. Sometimes it's not something that you can do, but if you can, I do. Like, I don't use Ziploc bags anymore. I don't use I don't use aluminum foil anymore, and I'll show you what I am using in its place. And then rot, which is the last one, and this is what you do with your food scraps. I rent and I don't have a house, but I do have access to a backyard. And I kept thinking to myself, like, I hate that I'm throwing out perfectly good food scraps. First thing that I do is, if it's vegetables, I freeze up all my vegetables, and then once my jar gets full, I then make my own vegetable stock with it. So I'm not buying vegetable stock from the stores, I'm making my own, and then I am learning how to compost indoors. You start composting indoors and then you take it outdoors, And that's going to be a video later on because I'm just starting it out and I'm learning about it. So I don't even want to tell you the name of what I'm doing. Okay, it's Bokashi. And I'll link about it in the caption description bar. And yeah, so I'm going to give you a quick tour of my kitchen and my bathroom to give you some ideas of how you can start reducing the amount of waste. And you know what? You save coins too because you're not buying as much as you used to. Are you ready to go zero waste with me? Yes, yes. All right, keep on watching and you're going to see a nice tour.